anything to a kill.
No, and with all this mid control that has been gained, I'm looking to see where they try and eventually end towards. It looks like a drift back towards the A site with the pop flash finding nothing though. Where do they take this? They could double pump back towards B. So that might be the goal. Deep hold coming out from Futbolist, who have decided to consider it being that A. Wrong call to our eyes. And now with the Harbour Wall coming up, smoke in, keloqz taking back site. It's safe. We know that. They don't, so going through that protocol list diligently.
Obscure plant position as well. Ability to set up a couple of different crossfires.
My eyes are down.
And maybe hold on to some control towards CT, actually.
Okay. Let's see how this bursts back in. Looking for that first contact, and it's found. keloqz is down. And this could be the springboard. This should be the go signal, and it is. AvovA going to find one, but MOJJ is there. Lovely retake coming out from Futbolist here. Diffuse, comfortable for them. And they stayed poised, composed, and the second they got keloqz down, they burst on that.
It's a decent adjustment as well. Heretics ultimately benefiting from that rotation coming through. I think qRaxs and Ata looking to make sure nobody slipped through in towards spawn. MOJJ with a beautiful opener. Like I said, that's the catalyst here in this retake. Obviously, the domino effect in play there. Unable to really hold on to anything on site on the side of Heretics. Positives though, at least Heretics have the plan in place here for a slow default in the pistol. See if that does continue, and actually whether or not FUT Esports are going to challenge some of this space, trying to deny any of it.
I also want to see the money management from Heretics in this too. See if they fall into any traps with these repurchases. Eventually, this one, not too worried about. We do see a couple of sheriffs coming through, but nothing too wild about it. Heretics, though, again, being given a fair amount of this mid-space. Haven't had too many early fights in these very early rounds. Given over towards Art, so let's see what MrFaliN does on the other side. You do have that hold from Pit coming in from qRaxs, so he should be first contact as they do swing the corner.
He's actually ready with the fragment there, but Dr. Investing will do a little later here, so we'll separate Heretics, and zeek will fall immediately. The follow through is there. Kiwi with the cleanup. Just Boo left to find, and will retrieve an orb at least. We'll get a consolation kill though.
Yeah, just a formality at this point. An exit would be really nice for him. It ain't gonna happen. Stunning work, and gotta say, kept composure on the side, didn't look threatened by that burst. Considering how close Heretics just got through on Art, they were right up close there, pop flash in. And the second that fragment went in there was no threat afterwards. Look at this, again, you have the support instantaneous from Kiwi coming through, warming up into this matchup now.
And actually noting the fragment, the paint shell goes behind that as well. So like I said, it separates Heretics, but also forces, I believe Mixwell, the second player through there, from Heretics into a position where he has to push forward, or he has to tank the damage.
Yeah. MOJJ power-up round coming in now. Couple damage-dealing weapons, though, to note. Rifle. On MOJJ, we do still see the Bulldog with Kiwi, so that's going to be in play here. Obviously, on the other side, full purchase. And early orb collected, so trying to build up. Looks like contact is also noted towards B-Long now.
Ata going to respect this for the time being. Heavy focus towards double doors initially from two players on the side of FUT Esports, but nobody there from Heretics to counter that. So Heretics do just funnel towards B-Long here. It's going to be a little concerning. Ata does have that wall as well to slow down any push towards site.
And it's the fact that they can stack this, right? They essentially have those 4 players on this side of the map.
I mean, qRaxs still has a flash as well, so they can set up perfectly when contact comes through here.
And this is highly indicative of the hit. You can see them already. A little bit of a stall here, 45 seconds. And they can't really hit much of a double pump on this because they have no information on the rest of the map now. That's been lost. But there is a crunch coming in. Boo could be a problem here. Could be a thorn in the side, a bit of a nuisance. 35 seconds now, the clock's getting a little later in the day. Kiwi are going to find Zeek, and it's now getting worrying. qRaxs finds keloqz, and these are rifles that having no chance be brought to bear. And the flash was gorgeous, and they capitalize on it well. And now Boo, who was pressuring towards mid, is now being wrapped on as well. This is Futbolist in full control.
A lovely setup here to stop Heretics in their tracks.
10 seconds
Like I
left.
said, Boo
10 seconds left.
did finally try and show some presence towards double doors, but was forced to wait into this position now where try and hold on to this rifle. MrFaliN's not going to let him do that.
Look at the upgrades,
Yeah.
Mike. They are loving it. That is rifles galore. That is the dream.
Very early boom to the economy here, and a chance for FUT Esports actually to establish quite a healthy lead. Should argue they get the fourth online here. Instead of all the things that we highlighted, though, just coming into effect. It wasn't even a deep flash here. It was actually just qRaxs looking to flash over on top of default, and perfect timing on the wall expiring as well. You can see keloqz trying to get over and above that. I believe it was Zeek behind that. Actually fell to the paint shell. So forced into a position where, once again, the placement of utility on the side of Kiwi, absolutely crucial.
Maybe looking elsewhere on the map now.
I'm not even sure about this.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, the wall doesn't even block off the sightlines to the orb there.
That's a
Needs
frustrating.
to be a little
death.
deeper to deny that space to allow this orb to be retrieved.
Yeah, a little sloppy there. Zeek, the one to receive the punishment of it. And Sheriffs, yes. Light armor, yes. But we need to see something more. Again, right place for Footballists. They are reading this game very well. I love the adjustment. Again, that Cypher shifting
Spike
across.
down A.
qRaxs, no
Spike
sweat.
down A.
Finds Mixwell. Follow up. Yeah, he's just trying to farm here. keloqz will punish, and you do need to be a little careful with him. Don't let him get that hot hand going. Don't let him get confident in this. And he has been dealt with. qRaxs and Kiwi, lovely again. Footballists looking flawless.
Four standing once again, only losing one. So that economy will continue to swell. Well, actually, they need to bring qRaxs up to speed. I think he's the only one that's going to be lacking behind a little bit, but we'll be able to hold on to at least 3,900 here. This is what I was talking about. So the intention here in this round was minimal investment to retrieve this orb, but maybe a comfort factor there, with Zeek being on the harbor.
Oh, it's
A little bit of a whiff on the utility, and yeah, a very early timeout called here for Heretics.
We need to get a grip on this game. Like, it's been very flat from them so far. Individually, not finding much success to maybe build upon. But as a collective, they've been outdone every single time by Heretics. Their positioning has been wonderful to witness. Loving what Heretics are, well, excuse me, what Footballists are doing here. Positioning's been marvelous. We've seen almost a stack in 2 rounds in the correct place. The Cypher adjusted off the back. Really lovely early work. So hopefully the coach can maybe instill a little bit of something into Heretics, because they are struggling currently to really get this one going. And again, that little fumble coming out from that harbor wall, certainly going to sting a bit, but shake it off. We'll come up with a plan or something here, because this could be a very quick game otherwise.
We need to get some rounds on the board early on. It's the issues we're seeing with this default, at least in the first couple of rounds. Come back in with a purchase here, so whether or not that's going to be the intention once again. It's always what we look for, though, what they're actually achieving off this early presence shown across the map. Like I said, without really forcing a rotation in that previous buy round. FUT Esports were able to adjust perfectly. A little push, at least initially, here to retrieve that orb once again. Mixwell will have the Seekers online for this round. Yeah, you can see why Zeek was looking for it in the previous, because now we'll have the Reckoning available. So maybe Heretics leaning towards a set piece here. Adjustment on the side of FUT Esports. See now MOJJ actually having a couple of kill traps set up on site. Kiwi there in unison towards dugout. qRaxs kind of floating in a similar position we've seen him before.
I do want to see if they try and maybe take that mid control they've been toying with a little bit further here. Looks like maybe just try and time a little 3-2 split towards A site.
Well, difference being is it's only going to be the camera to take this contact in R. Didn't catch any tripwires either with that Trailblazer.
Yeah, this is where it gets a little terrifying, as that's a whole lot of utility put in, but Kiwi still finds keloqz. So again, the tip of the spear gets blunted. Yeah, Seekers will find Kiwi, but that's fine. Might buy a couple of seconds to deny this. Does get to post it in the end, finds very little for it, but qRaxs is there, finds the frag. Kiwi swings out, and these positions are divine. Gorgeous shot from Kiwi. Oh, come on. Kiwi is destroying Heretics.
Beautiful round from him. Even does a chunk of damage on Boo. Yes, doesn't find anything, for the pressure coming through to him with the Seekers. Even finds that kill on keloqz ahead of that sight hit coming through. Very little for Heretics to take away in terms of positives for this round. Kiwi looking sharp as hell. This is one where it can spiral out of control very, very quickly here. A 5-round lead. Heretics come back into this with nothing but, well, I'll say nothing but Sheriffs. There is a Spectre here in the hands of Zeek. They can get anything done. This here initially, FUT Esports reading Zeke's utility is a massive indicator to the presence of Heretics.
Yeah, and it's high tempo, right? They're trying to build behind this, maybe build off the back of all that Harbor utility being poured in towards the B side. But again, looking at MOJJ here, great positioning. Does he find anything? No, the Coke going to keep them safe, and keloqz on the back lines. That's what they needed. A little bit of fire in the belly, taking some of that side control. But these retakes have been good. We've had a couple success stories here from them. Let's see if anything can be the proponent to starting that. One rifle in the hands of Zeek now. This is going to be tough to break through, but did just hear the ult get popped on the other side. So qRaxs looking to start it. Captain going to find Zeek. That's going to be one of the players on the backside removed. There's the second. Site now looking much more viable for Futbolist.
Actually forced all players of Heretics back. It's one on pillar here and two towards on top of B long here.
This plant's rough for long.
It's very rough.
Yeah,
There's smokes up, they're going to stick it.
Oh
he
my
got pulled
God,
off
just
it.
taken away. Just. They've held onto it. Mixwell does the damage,
Oh
but
my
timing was so
God.
fine. By hook or by crook, you'll take it if you're Heretics at this point, but man, that was way too close.
I mean, I didn't want to call it. I was thinking eventually we're going to get to the point there where somebody's got the spam on. Again, FUT Esports happy to just sit behind this Viper wall, wait for it to come back up and swarm back onto site. And you get very concerned, actually, the point where all three remaining members of Heretics are forced onto long. That pillar position is so difficult to find or isolate an engagement here. FUT Esports now, actually, a little bit of a tempo shift. Well, deny some of this space. I said previously, big indicator on the side of FUT Esports has been where Zeke's early utility has been invested. And Heretics are happy to flood up right behind it. No real secrets about the approach.
No, back to a little bit more of, I guess, what we've been seeing up until that point. We do have that operator with keloqz, so maybe trying to give him a little time to work, see if anyone gets a little over-zealous in the peak.
I was going to say, keloqz got to be careful there. MOJJ once again playing towards elbow.
But no early opportunity given. I don't know if maybe Futbolists are aware of the opportunity or just being diligent in approach.
Concern being they know nothing about this presence from MrFaliN here. No flash setup for the second time. Trailblazer is going to be a very early sign that Heretics have drifted back over to this side of the map. See qRaxs playing that floating position once again. He's already preemptively rotating. Not that Kiwi's had any problems at all in holding down this site up until now.
Ooh.
A little bit of a fake with the conflict divide as well.
But the camera's still going to be ahead of that, so they know there's no intention behind it. There's still 3 players dedicated towards the A side, so a terrible surprise about to be awaiting, and qRaxs is ready for it. 2 big kills, looks for a follow-up. Kiwi's going to nab it away from him, and Futbolists are hyper-aware of everything Heretics are trying to do. These fakes just aren't selling well enough. 10 more seconds. This is just dead air time at this point. AvovA would love to keep that operator in play. So going to try and hold that as long as he can and just dip away as he does. 3 more seconds to try and wait this one out. They are trying to hunt him down, though. That is a high priority piece to get away from them. A couple more seconds, and I do think he's going to be able to keep this. This is tense.
Just about, yeah.
Yes, he does. So that's still into play, but again, very thin silver lining to that round.
What a bizarre investment, the Cosmic Divide there. Again, once the Trailblazer is noted outside A main, you have to assume this guy is going to be with the body, or at least the main body of Heretics in terms of where that hit's coming through. And there's nobody really to sell the fake behind the Cosmic Divide. All it would take is just a shoulder peek outside from MOJJ just to confirm the lack of presence. So you almost think if you're getting a 5-man hit towards A, put the Cosmic Divide down there as well.
Not getting one they want. Sadly for Zeek, having a bit of a stinker of a game so far. And back to the basics. Now, a round like this with a bit of a mixed bag purchase actually worked out for Heretics. Able to hold from long with the 3 remaining players, but this time Kiwi's on the case. Given the operator and wins it. keloqz put to bed. He goes for a second. AvovA going to pick up the mantle and loses again. Kiwi back-to-back perfection. And now they have very little access here.
Mixwell trying to take a stab at this now with the operator. Kiwi repositioning.
Oh, that's nice.
All the way to behind screen. Heretics will drift away. And problem being, the timing of these splits through double doors have just been way offbeat from where contact is taken. Obviously in this round, minimal investment, so not expecting miracles from boot. Actually, nearly gets a shot there underneath the one-way of Ata.
Can't use that.
Bot coming
So
back.
here, actually, the timing is going to be crucial for MOJJ to check this cap. Yeah, he's already in it. I was going to say, the safety net is in
30
place.
seconds left.
Yeah, and he'll be able to call back the player. MrFaliN. So again, deep positioning. Started to toy with this in the prior rounds. And Captain's already dealt with the backline, but they do succeed against FALN. So maybe they get a plant here. Maybe. 15 seconds to try and make it count. And already Zeke's in a bit of danger. 12 now. Time's starting to dwindle. Kiwi's starting to get a little curious, and this is now starting to get into danger time. Still no plant and still no time. They're backing away. 0 opportunities here, Mike. They are floundering.
Very, very limp-wristed here from Heretics. Again, this isn't the one where you expect miracles, but here where there's opportunities. Testing Kiwi once again with his operator. 13-2, by the way.
He's
an absolutely ridiculous performance so far.
not skipped a beat, has he, that man?
And now overall, they're just comfortable. In terms of the pacing of how these rounds are playing out, the fact he's got an operator in his hand, getting closer and closer to that showstopper. He does have that almost get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yeah.
If somebody does run him down early on in a round, once that operator is shown, but very few positives here for Heretics.
No, it's been a very rough game for them.
And the one thing we said, obviously, if keloqz delivers numbers, yes, well, Heretics can
catch up a score,
yeah, but it's not happening here.
No, it's been quite absent, and you can see the frustration on one side as Heretics do pump the brakes. Now, just to, I guess, add somewhat insult to injury, or a massive benefit if you are a footballist fan, this was the choice of Heretics. So already, and we know that internationally Lotus worked very well for footballists, so that's something they have in their pocket.
I'm concerned with Kiwi's performance here, that we go to Lotus next and then see him over on the Neon.
Exactly.
Again, that confidence booster, you hit that momentum, you carry that across to the second map, where there's a comp change. Again, it's a completely different protocol list for Heretics to deal with. Kiwi's going to run rampant once again on that Neon. You have to argue it's going to happen.
No, it feels almost fated at that point, but Kiwi showing some real diligence on the raise as well. Happy to see him showing some good adjustments, some depth to the agent pool that he's running. Now, there is a purchase here for Heretics, so eyes on. We have the operator back into play. Yes, some light armor and some ultimates play with Boo with the lockdown, and we do have Seekers if ready, but Kiwi's feeling confident, and rightly so. This man has been a monster. First time we've seen them toy with this idea, but the flash, diligent. Going to be a heads-up piece there just to force him away.
I think this is great, though, reading that the contact comes through so late towards double doors. If they can actually isolate Boo early on, then it's an even bigger advantage. They know that Heretics have been funneling towards one side or the other. The Seekers here not really going to paint a huge picture from where they're invested. Yeah.
Yeah, AtaKaptan can deal with one super comfortable, and the other goes all the way down CT. Brilliant.
I mean, with how deep these are dealt with, though, all it indicates that maybe there's a player rotating. It's not as if you can bank all in on this information.
And that knife just being committed towards A-Long as well, nothing off the back of it. So, yeah, of course, you won't read everything into it, but you might pull a rotate.
Puts qRaxs back in a position where you can hold sewer and be in a position to rotate early. At least here from where MOJJ and Kiwi are positioned, they're going to hear these steps early. Trailblazers confirm it. And the other big indicator being Zeke's utility.
Kiwi's here.
30 seconds
This is what
left.
gets a little scary, and you just heard it. 30 seconds now. And the lockdown does come in. Do they play it right? Can they find a chance with this? keloqz lets off a couple of shots, but finds no one on the other side of it. And the respect being given by football. It's not going to stick around too long here. Plant needs to come in soonish. Want to see that happen.
It should have come in already. With the lockdown and obviously Zeke's utility, they've missed the timing on this.
Yeah, this could still be an issue. 5 seconds and the spike is going to eventually go down. But again, they're running it so late. Zeek and keloqz succeed, though. A 2-for-1 trade out, and they're overextending towards CT to try and take some safety, some space. FALN goes down, and now Kiwi left with a mountain to climb. Not an easy scenario at all, investing so much in this round for Heretics, but they need it. They desperately need it. Zeek coming alive a little here. Certainly going to help matters. As for footballers, they're cut off from this.
I mean, this has got to be unlosable for Heretics. keloqz got to take first contact here. Actually, finally, Kiwi comes through. Thank God Zeek seals the deal there. Finds his fourth and gives Heretics a second round. I was going to say, keloqz leaving it so late. And actually, the investment of the wall, perfect timing from Zeek, but there was a gap. An ability for FUT Esports to actually isolate one of these players on Heretics. Very concerning, though, in approach. See the lockdown come through, and we're asking, when's the plant going to happen? Zeke's utility drops, the lockdown's expired, there's no real control over site there. Nothing short of a miracle that Heretics actually get the plant in time.
And I'm pretty sure that was Zeke's first 4 kills in the entire game. So already showing a fair amount of diligence in the way he's approaching it. But we do see an ult invested. That's going to be AtaKaptan very early on, going to just try and take over middle. So it really makes it hard for them to find that late presence.
I love this setup, though. It's invested from art. It's actually going to wrap all the way to double doors. And has a little bit of MOJJ's utility behind it as well.
Lovely.
Beautiful setup here to deny mid.
Love seeing the versatility in this. A different look from Heretics as well, at least towards A for now.
Yeah, this pit is actually crazy because they have to shift walk all the way through if they want to push art as well. It denies a split to both sides.
Yeah, it makes it feel a little less you can pull a player. Now, with qRaxs going down to Zeek, maybe it does. Maybe they have to hit the emergency button of we need you to get away from the ults, we need some support on the side, or we play full retake. Now, actually, Mixwell just got caught there. So, once again, a 4v4. It's not all smooth sailing yet for Heretics. Paint Shell goes in. Not looking like it's done a boatload of damage just yet. And there it is. Boo's going to find MOJJ. Pushing CT. Great trade, though, for Kiwi.
I'll say Boo did eat a ton of damage from that paint shell. Kiwi actually going to clear dugout here, though. Zeek did reposition. Unnoticed as of yet, and he will be rewarded for it.
Up for a fight now. Zeek starting to warm into the game. A whole different look for him, but still.
What?
Oh, no. How the hell?
Oh, my God!
FallenZ just found Zeek. And the defuse, plenty of time on it. That looked unlosable.
How have they fumbled that? I mean, a couple of kills come through from Zeek. That maybe that's the catalyst for Heretics to say, yep, dig your heels in, guys. Hold on to sight. Commit to some of these angles. But there's no counterplay. There's no ability for any of the players on Heretics to play off each other. I mean, how has Ata got off stairs here?
How's he gone to there?
I think that's the kill that really catches Heretics off guard, because that's the only crossfire that they can really hold. I mean, yeah, exactly. How? That's a tough blow, because it rocks the economy of Heretics as well.
And this could have been a nice little gateway back into the game, right? This could have been a couple of stepping stones to get them back in force. Now it looks like they're trying to test mid, but they are testing it in numbers. We haven't seen that just yet. Kiwi patiently waiting, poised towards B long. It's going to be AtaKaptan to deal with all of that presence coming through. Working off the back of Zeke's utility. Flash goes in as well, notes nothing. They do need to be ready for this, but they will at least get to close quarters to an extent. But you can already see on the other side, Football is sitting a little bit deeper now, making a hard work. That could be a massive paint shell. A lot of chip damage, but they do mostly keep their life, apart from Zeek, who does go down, and now it starts to fall apart. The positioning was great. I was a little worried they'd be a bit too close, and maybe those frenzies could have found someone. But no, they shifted right to the back of the site. Perfect readjustment. And, well, it'll be very telling when they will try and work this way.
So some of these adjustments of MOJJ's utility have been so on point. The North F going to come through, so have to deal with that trap now. The information will be garnered on the side of FUT Esports. Anyway, will he get the backstab here?
Surely they have no idea. He's seen so many. Does get overrun by keloqz, and that's a rifle now in the hands. 30 seconds to make something happen with this. AvovA, just the sheriff still. Light armor for keloqz across his watch. Kiwi sends them back to the Shadow Realm. 0 chance in this round now. With 18 seconds, a 1v4 near on miracles would be needed, and AvovA none the wiser. Doesn't even note the player on the side just yet. Can't even make it there. Futbolist outclassing Heretics.
Ata absolutely clapping Heretics in some of these rounds. But it's a discipline on display here from Kiwi as well. The timing of that kill to come through, but completely disengages. Doesn't want to give away anything, even in a 4v1.
Yeah. And one of the things we were really impressed with during Brazil, during lock-in, was the discipline we were seeing from Futbolists. That was something that we hadn't seen much of prior to that point, and seeing them still with this sort of look is fantastic. But maybe a small morsel of hope could be gained here for Heretics if they are able to get this. Get that third, give yourself an opportunity of the back of potentially the pistol in the second. So they're going back to what had worked a couple of times. This B hit, trying to clear towards the back of the site. FallenZ being a nuisance, though. Going to catch a little bit of damage towards keloqz, but keeping himself. Mobile gets caught. Boo finds him. That's FallenZ gone, and that's the site now under Heretics' control.
Finally, this pace change looking as if it might convert to Heretics obtaining a comfortable post-plant setup. Open plant this time around, so they'll be conscious. That wall is there, ready for the retake once again. Zeek, actually overstaying his welcome here. qRaxs will punish that.
Yeah, not able to make it out of the site, so all the players now deep post plant. So if there's walls still in place and there's still position to be had, this is where it gets dicey, burning through that utility pretty early on, but they need to make a move here. keloqz going to find one. Response is found. Kiwi's there, 3v3 now. Someone needs to get the pressure going, though, towards long. Kiwi's going to try and get that defuse started. AtaKaptan going to push himself forward. Finds Mixwell en route, but couldn't get any further. AvovA stops him. And time is running. Ow! Kiwi! He's found him! The defuse is coming as well! Any hope gets ripped away from Heretics.
Switching
Absolutely mad that FUT Esports are able to pull that off. Kiwi landing a crucial kill. I think keloqz finds the Bladestorm headshot onto qRaxs.
Yeah.
At that point, you think maybe that's going to weaken the retake, but again, FUT Esports happy to just barrel down long, apply pressure to that backline after Mixwell falls. That point, I mean, we noted how questionable that hold is. There's still numbers up on the side of FUT Esports. Again, side-by-side comparison, the adjustment here in this round for FUT Esports is actually, yeah, okay, let's charge them down. Don't let them sit B long. At that point, you got to question Zeek's decision-making there, because Zeek
stick on site. I didn't know what the plan
Zeek
was.
has to find 1 or 2 kills there, and it's a tall order.
Yeah, it's certainly not easy. But kind of talking through this half from the start, we kind of outlined some of those things we wanted to look at, Mike. It's a pretty telling picture scoreline-wise, but in the intricacies of it, was there anything you saw as a lifeline for potentially Heretics here, or is it the same issues still reappearing even with this agent change-up?
I mean, this is the part where I probably insert the motivational keloqz speech, but that was absent.
Yes.
On this half, where you'd argue that you hope they would have a lot more impact. Maybe there's an argument to be made. We'll get the operator online nice and early here. That's when we know that keloqz can be very impactful on the defensive half. But I mean, short of that, it's not feeling as if Heretics going to have the confidence to kind of carry across a very proactive approach to the defense here.
Yes, I'm a little worried. Now
That's
again,
so risky with this deficit as well. To come away from that, you have to almost be level pegging or have some kind of buffer zone, because if that falls apart in 1 or 2 rounds, this is done. This is done and wrapped.
I think if we talk about it in a very realistic way, when you have someone like Kiwi having these sort of rounds, he can convert you maybe 1 or 2. So you're hoping you get at least a buffer of that, right? They don't have that right now. I was kind of hoping they'd get that 3rd so they could maybe build off the pistol, try and build the economy behind them. You get a couple rounds for keloqz to feel it out, but there's just no room for this now.
And I guess the second concern to that is actually in terms of contingencies and how FUT Esports approach that half, the synergy's just on point. And with these players hitting shots, you don't want to be sending keloqz on a solo mission to desperately find an opener on the defense, because FUT Esports playing like this will punish it.
Yeah, and I just feel like everything I'm about to say is just adding salt to the wound. But I mean, Zeek ended that top fragging after being, I think, James Bond.
How?
Yeah, it's quite telling. So this is just an out-performance from start to finish, at least on this half. Look, we've seen actual bigger comebacks in this, but I haven't seen the spark that's made me believe it could happen yet. That's what I'm waiting for. I just want to see it activate. And again, when I look at the players, the caliber, the pedigree that is on Heretics, it's begging the question, where the hell are they?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking earlier about if you're getting back to 80 or 90% of their performance levels, I feel like we're barely touching 50.
Yeah.
This is very, very absent from the side of Heretics. Remain open-minded for the second half.
Absolutely.
And get the ball rolling nice and early. It's looking as if actually that proactive approach will be present here in the pistol round. Now, Boo has to play his part here and play his life, but unfortunately, FUT Esports are going to find themselves onto site so early that this 3-man flank, with how early the plant's coming through, could be concerning. And actually, AvovA's been punished.
What?
Look at where that kill's come through.
What? How the hell did that even happen? And there's just so much map control for football. It's so telling that there's no presence elsewhere. No one in mid, no one pressuring through from CT. They've got to known about this flank so early on. So yes, Footballers will just escape back towards the side. They want to get some control somewhere. They get it for free almost. Boo gets deleted. So now it just looks like a flip of the script again. It's Heretics back on the attacking side. That didn't look great for him. So now let's do it with a time limit. What have you got for us? 3 of them working back in. Zeke's already gone. This is a tragedy in action. Footballers just too damn good right now.
And got to respect Heretics taking the initiative, but on the other side of things, from a fundamental standpoint, the decision-making here from FUT Esports is on point. There's very little that Heretics can do once FUT Esports aren't positioned outside A or at top mid. You cannot convert this 3-man flank into anything. And as soon as actually the penny drops, This kill comes through, and when MOJJ feels nothing else to connector, it's like, okay, cool, we find contact on B-Long, push and kill that guy because he's solo in CT. Go and get that kill now. And then, all of, like you said, the roles are reversed at that point, and they can cement that site hold.
We are going to see a stinger or two. Sheriffs as well. This is a desperate attempt from Heretics. And I feel like they have to do this, but you can already see the rifles. We've got a Bulldog out for qRaxs, 2 rifles as well. MOJJ and Kiwi going to go towards that, and it looks like a flash is getting ready to be invested. High flash towards site, and allows Kiwi to try and get towards position. Already though, Kiwi now down. Zeek going to show his hand a little, but he's not alone in this, or at least hopefully he's not alone. No, oh, FaliN sends them to their grave. 2 back-to-back kills, cuts them in half. And you're right, barely breathing after that. Oh god, there's so many lovely playing in unison. keloqz and Boo, good work there. MOJJ now a 1v3. Gonna try and do a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of housework. Gets rid of one of the rifles. And as soon as the cage drops, keloqz is there. Lifeline garnered. How many rifles do they get out of this? A Spectre, Bulldog, okay, and there it is. Boo's found one as well. So they do walk away with a decent amount of weaponry.
The first time actually some kind of team fight carries out in a round where FUT Esports are throwing bodies on the line, unfortunately. And this placement of the wall from Zeek allows them to line up. Double peek the same angles, and FUT Esports desperate to convert, I guess on the utility timings, convert that presence towards site control.
Okay. Hey, look, it's given time to the crowd to cheer for. I appreciate it. The Heretics fans are here, like, please.
Something.
Just give us a couple more. Let's see what they can achieve now. Finally having a little bit of money in the pocket. Have a far greater buy. So you'll see it kept clean, right? If we're going to be pedantic about it. And there it is, quite telling of positioning. They're going to wrap all the way around back towards B here. Zeek overwhelmed, FaliN flies in, okay. And now it comes down to keloqz. This is where it gets a little scary, doesn't it? Because now keloqz is a little far away. Yes, he has support en route from Mixwell, but for a second or two, he is alone.
It's
when
tough
they
there.
paused.
Because they get a big upgrade, so now FUT Esports can slow this round down. There's no second peak coming through from anybody, so once Zeek falls, it's question marks for Heretics. Flash will confirm presence, but doesn't tell them too much.
No, and they're all sitting so deep, Mike. I mean, you've got,
Yeah,
yes,
they have to
towards
respect
pit.
this rifle now.
Yep. So it does allow footballers to get to the door. Now there's a whole lot of utility set up this way, though.
30 seconds left.
Plenty for Boo to play with. You want to see AvovA, the supporting act to this. Paint shell, posted. Here we go. Utility now going to come into play. Kiwi going to get a little touch of damage, but mostly keeping fine. 15 seconds now. Heretics finally pulling the trigger. Boo's going to fight. FaliN's the one to find AvovA, and now Boo's in danger.
What?
Overwhelmed. It's a 3v2. keloqz and Mixwell, where are you? Spike's now down. And okay, Mixwell barrels in, takes down one by Pit. He gets traded. And now keloqz in the 1v2. He's got the rifle. Surely. For the timing, look at the position from FaliN. He's already trying to play with his timing. Do they just put him in there? Yes, FaliN going to check on this. A tap on the spike and a swing for AtaKaptan. keloqz is down. It's a thrifty round. They don't even need the rifles to do it. Footballers take it to 12 for so little.
And this is another example where you look at the difference in fundamentals, right? Zeke's positioning, a one and done, as best as he can do there. Well, there's nothing he can do to kind of counteract. Even if he goes 1-for-1 there, there's an upgrade and ability for FUT Esports to slow this round down. And they absolutely punish Heretics for that. And then when actually contact comes through onto site, you can see FUT Esports just throw bodies on the line to find these trades.
They are playing as a team. You are seeing a full 5-man squad. There is no messing around with that. Heretics are looking a little bit too individual. keloqz, though, is going to catch Kiwi there. So, not bad, a little bit of hope.
Alarm bot out. Right
They do
there.
get a man advantage early on.
Toxins going up.
Patient play now. See if footballers can find the equalizer here. Looks like they're eyeing up that B site, but again, there is presence. There are players here. Luckily, Boo does have a rifle. Obviously, for Zeek, only down to that Sheriff. But adjustments being made. They're just going to leave one player posted here. So they are accepting the player disadvantage to build with. a fake committed. But look at the difference here, Mike. They've got AtaKaptan behind it. That is what you were looking to see, and see if it draws the attention.
Somebody to sell this, honestly.
Cage triggered.
You've got to look for Zeek and Boo to find something here. Now actually find that kill at the time they have, but AvovA's still going to have confirmation on the other side of things. MOJJ will fall.
Yeah, AvovA stayed alive. Hill presence kept the site somewhat safe. Yes, they get a plant, but it's a 2v5. This would need mistakes from Heretics. It's so hard to make this happen for yourself. So little safety here as well. You can see the map just becoming smaller and smaller. AvovA is pretty low now, 2 HP. You can see, ooh, it's messy, but he gets the job done. Okay, just one more player to find, and this could be 4 for Heretics. Diffuse gonna get started. qRaxs, I don't think he can find much in this. The Diffuse is very safe right now. Yeah, that will be a lifeline for Heretics. Again, found here. 4 standing, an early pick, converted into success.
4 on the board now for Heretics, but again, another rifle lost out here will force out a repurchase. keloqz went off the Blade Storm for something to offset the economy slightly in one of these rounds, but again, it hasn't really been an awful lot of success on his side at least, so not something that Heretics want to rely heavily upon. Actually, FUT Esports will throw back investment here. Yeah, kind of strange purchase, actually.
Yeah, look at the commitment behind this fight, though. This is so many bodies put towards A-Long. This is just basically deathmatch as soon as they crest that corner, if they crest that corner. And it looks like the fight's about to happen. Yeah, Boombot going to come in, trade out of utility. keloqz, careful now. Zeek is going to come through. All of this utility is still blind. Unconfirmed damage potentially achieved, and it is going to be towards keloqz a little bit, but top step from the heel. Kiwi, oh, what? He gets bailed out on it. The trades are good for footballers. FaliN is popping off. 3 big kills, and they win the brawl. They win the fight, and they leave Heretics with just 2.
I don't think Zeke's going to have a say in this ahead of the spike being planted either. Poison Orb comes up. Very difficult for him to commit to pushing through this now, and actually the pit's going to go down. We have to set up a stranglehold on site here, but Zeke's slipping into it. qRaxs has found him, though.
He knew what he wanted. He knew the objective was to try and deal with that player, that Viper on the site, and now Boo left in a 1v3. Feels disastrous here for Heretics. And a celebration for footballers, but let's see if Boo can do anything. No one giving him chance. So difficult to pry these players out of position. And there's the first fight, and it's lost. Footballers looking fantastic here. Heretics, though, bit of a shadow of their former selves.
Yeah, they're looking very subpar, I'll be honest. FUT Esports, though, take nothing away from this performance. Like I said, so many rounds that are, the, characteristic-wise, the ones that we talk about concerns for teams like FUT Esports. From a fundamental standpoint, looking absolutely on point. Ata and MrFaliN have been so sharp in so many situations to bail FUT Esports out from potentially where things spiral out of control for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when we talked about kind of carrying on from Brazil and how we felt about it, yes, one of the two sides has very much gone in the right direction, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, there were some positives to note. Obviously, Heretics have come away and completely overhauled the way they approach Pearl. Maybe with a little more time, this might look a little bit better, but we definitely haven't seen that in map 1 yet.
No, we certainly haven't, but there is more to be seen, hopefully, for Heretics here. They need to find a way to get back into this matchup, so don't go far away.
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
gives you wings.
What a start for FUT, and also the fans of Turkey. I know you guys are watching right now. They beat Heretics in a dominant fashion on Pearl. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Vincent and Lothar. You guys were leaning a little bit towards FUT, but did you expect it to be that much heavy in their favor?
I didn't expect them putting their foot so hard down, you know?
Yeah.
I like it. I like that one.
I love it, really.
Yeah.
Talking about that, putting the foot down, pedal to the metal, it's absolutely what I love. I'll be honest about that. But
and even a car reference,
you
look at
never
that.
fail to amaze me with the car references. Well done, by the way.
Listen,
well done.
they were going left lane autobahn all the time, as it would be just your old.
Okay,
regional
one's
BMW
enough.
driver.
One per map. One per map.
I'll give it like that.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to see how FUT played, because their passiveness in that first half was exactly what I loved about them. This was the FUT that I knew that waits and also waits again, and then one waits, and Heretics was playing into that.
That's very anti-characteristic from the Turkish teams
Yeah.
that we typically watch. So that's like, it's like an antithesis of this region. But I have to admit, I was really impressed with the discipline from FUT on defense. They were just holding their ground, waiting. Kind of like yesterday on Icebox from Fnatic and Giants. It looked very similar to some degree, because what I didn't really like about the Heretics' decision-making there was during the attack, they had such a proactive composition with the hub of the sky, who can initiate rounds, and yet I have never seen a round which was initiated with the ultimates and cascaded upon. So it's like, there's many things that we should definitely talk about later in the stages, but as you can see in the fragging department, Tesh, what do you think about Kiwi's score?
Hey, listen, what did I say earlier? It was always a good move to buy an entire roster just to get him. Kiwi overall on the defensive side, you know, he had a lot of multi-kills. That was amazing. That was wonderful to watch, but it was never that overly spectacular. I can't believe this is the play of the season. Because he's just solid in what he does, which then +1/+1 comes to the matter of fact that Heretics allowed him to have those easy kills. And if there's one man who can capitalize on that, it is Kiwi. But I would even go further there, Lothar, and would say it's not only Kiwi who did great. I would even say the entire team, maybe except Mosh, who always had to rotate last, was definitely doing a great job individually.
That's the problem when you play a Cypher.
Yeah.
You don't really get a lot of opportunities unless your team is not doing great.
He doesn't need to, though, does he? But also, MrFaliN's debut on Astra, I thought he looked really solid, and I think a lot of this discipline that you guys talk about might come down to the IGL coaching, how they're kind of playing with the team. But Kiwi, let's take a look at some of the highlights on that map, because I feel like that was just his map. The Turkish Jet, you know, you were a fan of the Turkish Neon, Turkish Rays as well. What can't they do?
let's start with Phoenix. But I would like to see a Yoru. But either way, let's step away from that. I'm genuinely positively surprised in the sense of that he could repeat that performance again and again and again and again. And now as we're on the stage here in Berlin, it's even better to see that they start off in that fashion. And this is what I meant. I've never seen Kiwi make frags somewhere in middle, somewhere with a lurk, somewhere aggressively going in with his satchels. And this is what I like so much about him. He can wait it out and let the opponent run in the simple and most effective way.
Well, you have seen here the highlights package. There's a lot of kills with the operator when they just someone dry peeks into him.
Exactly.
So it's not a lot of those are like first contact, like when you're holding art, when you're holding what was the other, the long on B, right? There has to be utility used to make sure that there's no operator just holding your angle, and that was just not happening. So Kiwi had just a fest of fragging over and over again. And also, I really liked his grounded position on B from dugout. Like that was really tough to get him out of it. And we have seen like, a lot of utility being used in that position, and then he just made one step back, and it's like still fine.
And no chance to get him out there. It was his home ground, basically. But to get into that, what you said about the operator, if there's one man on Heretics that I find a great operator player, it's obviously keloqz. But he didn't even give him a chance for like an open, fair 1-versus-1 duel.
But that problem is that you mentioned that keloqz is expected to play the operator, but I was like, wait, round 7, I see keloqz on operator on attack. And that round was very big. It showcased the problem for the team, because on round 7 we had Jet operator not getting any action on long B. They had 30 seconds to go towards A, swap the guns with AvovA, and then Jet just dashed it on side, but it was already too late, too long. Everyone died before even Jet got there.
Well, let's talk about some of those problems a little bit more, because losing in this fashion against a team that on paper maybe they are expected to even beat, it doesn't feel right. If we take a look at the star players on this roster, they're not the people that lose like this. You got Mixwell, Zeek as well, the new IGL. What do you guys think was going on here?
I genuinely would like to say that probably one of the issues here, Lothar, I know we could definitely discuss that, is that if you don't bait out utility early against this team, if you don't bait out anything or don't fake them around, they'll just stay like they're made out of stone on the side. And if you try to come onto their side, they'll throw everything at you. And this is one of the issues we've seen with Heretics. They were not really on their attacking side trying anything that would throw them off guard.
I mean, even if they were using it, like Harbor on Zeek has the perfect opportunity to sell fakes, to like gather space in the first like seconds of the round with the cascade, like going from long B, blocking the players in backside B, but not a single time on the space was like cascaded upon. So we didn't see any value from the ultimates. We didn't see a lot of value being bought with flashes, which is a problem when that's the main reason why you play this composition.
Yeah, and as you guys saw there, the energy also felt a little bit lower, right? It wasn't like as hype, maybe as a side of FUT as well. Something is not going on, but it could just be a bad day. It could just be a bad day. But the players are warming up right now in AIM Labs as we head into the next map. We have keloqz and Boo here, of course. Boo was the IGL, but today he's not on that role. Do you think that's maybe affecting them at all?
It's very hard to say. That's the problem that we have as the viewers have as well. We don't hear the comms from the team. We don't really know what was exact decision making behind swapping Boo and Zeek when it comes to the IGL role. So it's hard to say after just one map. We'll see what happens in the second one.
You know, it was just an observation. We didn't hear the comms, but I personally believe on some tech rounds, it looked like they were not 100% certain what the plan was. When you go in like 30, 40 seconds left, you need to have one plan steady and to go. And if you're like, oh, we're going back? No, we're not going back. Do we actually go site? That sometimes look uncomfortable.
Well, the good news is it's not over yet. This is a best of 3. Let's talk about map 2, which I believe is Lotus. This is going to be very, very interesting. We saw that get played yesterday as well. But unlike the first map, there's not so much footage on one of these teams.
Well, Heretics didn't play it even once, so there's absolutely no tape, you know?
No footage.
Good one.
Thank you.
That was a... Oh, I missed that one.
We did it. I looked at Vincent when I said it. Yeah.
I got it. No worries.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was reading my notes.
No worries, old man. Go on.
Yeah, well, you cannot have any footage.
I got it.
I got it now. From Heretics.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a problem for FUT, and it's a big advantage for Heretics. Because one, FUT will have to think about what kind of composition Heretics are choosing and how is the plan for them to execute that composition. And then they have to make it happen during the game, so they have everything, every challenge right now in front of them on this map. But it's their choice. So I have high expectations of FUT right now on this map than in the previous one.
I mean, they looked great at lock-in. Everything they were doing just what? They beat 100 Thieves.
That is exactly the point. Just to reiterate, 100 Thieves. Not just any NA team. They beat 100 Thieves on that map. And for me personally, that's a big thing to do because we're talking about one of the teams that we consider to be the best in that region. So for me personally, I have to say it is a big surprise. A 39 wonderful attack side where most of the time Kiwi was finding great entries, but never like unsupervised.
Do you think, because for the viewers who don't remember,
yeah,
we have seen a Neon composition
exactly
from FUT being played at lock-in. But the thing is,
yes,
when you play with a Neon, it becomes very apparent what is the plan. Like, how do you execute? How do you gather the space? And with Neon, a lot of it revolves around opening gambits during the barrier drop, because you're capitalizing on the maximum speed of the Neon. So do you think that Heretics now have a little bit of an upper hand because they know how this composition should work?
Well, we'll see in due course, because we're heading into Agent Select shortly. Again, you guys said we haven't seen Heretics play this. I'm looking forward to seeing what agents are going to be picking up. But as with you, Vincent, I liked what FUT was doing. I don't want to see it change.
No,
I liked it.
No, I don't want to see it change either. It looked absolutely rock solid. And as we're getting into that, let's see. Oh, there's already a little bit of an adaptation. As we see, no, never mind.
No,
it's the same. It's the same.
It is the same,
but let's look at Heretics over here. Zeek has moved over to Sage now, and
Yeah.
AvovA on the Omen. This is more what we expected from Heretics, I guess.
Well, Sage?
Double Sage, actually.
On Lotus here, I understand one thing I understand is like why you choose Sage for this map, just kind of similar to Haven, when you just kind of use the wall to block one of the passages towards your side. But at the same time, we have seen him already on Harbor. Yeah. And Harbor is really good on this map. Feels like made for it even, because you're able to get so much value with the vision denial. So I'm wondering what is the thought process here?
You know, one thing I don't see on the Team Heretics side is that one particular agent that could really help to stop the Neon aggression, to stop the Neon timings, right? There would be a diversity that we could think of. Breach would be one, if you hit the right position, obviously. That's just one example that I would think of. So there's nothing particularly appealing to me here about the Team Heretics comp.
Well, as I said yesterday during the broadcast, I'm really not a fan of picking Sky on this map. I feel like the value is just so not there when you compare it to like KO, Breach, all of those, even Gecko. You get immediate amount of value from those agents, while Sky has a problem because her ultimate is not always reliable. The heal is something that you need to get into the ground first. The proactivity from Sky is a little bit, let's say, less flexible.
Right. No, I totally see your point. And when we talk about Lotus again, I think the most important part is Kiwi again. He dropped 30 kills, 100 Thieves. He probably could do that again.
Well, let's see if he can. But Heretics, they have to win this map if they don't want to walk away with a loss on week 1. The Turkish casters are looking pretty happy. Let's check in with our casters. How are you doing, Pansy and Hypoc?
Sue, we are filled with joy. Nothing like a one-sided map 1 and then hopes and prayers for map 2.
And then we step into the unknown in map 2.
Sure. Hey, look, I like that.
Yep.
The unknown, Michael. Always the optimist is what they say about you. But no, I'm worried here because this Neon pick coming out looked really good when we saw it before.
Yeah, tried and tested.
I think it works well.
The response is required on the side of Heretics, and unfortunately we didn't see anything in terms of, I guess, the planning and preparation executed correctly on Pearl. So you've got to question that. Exactly, you've got to question that coming into something that for esports looked exceptionally comfortable employing versus 100 Thieves. So concerns do continue, unfortunately, but we stay open-minded.
I will wait and see. I think that's the big thing for me, that this has been, as said, proven to be very solid for the side that just looked incredibly strong. So Heretics, I hope you've got a plan. I hope that man on your screen, for example, has a great game. I want to see what he can do, because already Kiwi's been off to a belting start. Could not ask any more of the man.
He's going to be absolutely booming coming into Lotus.
And we're going to find out as to why. Footballist up against Heretics. Map 1, forget about it. Map 2, it's a fresh start here. We just have our fingers crossed we get the Heretics we want to be seeing. Have to see how they look on this map after, again, Football is tested up against international talent here and came out looking good.
Indeed, this literally, keloqz going to be, I suppose it's actually going to be a fairly fast. See here,
Ooh, I like that.
the obscure wall here, but qRaxs is, actually keloqz follows through. qRaxs is going to find 3 kills.
It looked really good on paper, but in actuality, it kind of fell to pieces. AvovA and Boo left with whatever is remaining. And it's not much. Rid of there to qRaxs somehow, remaining unscathed from all of that interaction. Quite like the wall idea.
Almost like the Paper X approach to playing Sage, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Again, it's the execution that's kind of questionable in terms of the result. Obviously, to have 2 members of FUT Esports stacked there in that corner to punish it. Maybe not something that's anticipated by Heretics, but now I see the 2v5, and actually both players now tagged up 6 and 13 HP respectively.
Yeah, just a very slow and painful death at this point. Spike is still in the hands of AvovA, but I don't think there's really anywhere to go at this point.
One suppressed.
Still knowing they're here.
AvovA's already been seen a couple of seconds ago anyway. We'll find a consolation, but it's another round where 4 remain set. And again, that would be an interesting statistic to look at, even with the pistol round aside, just how many rounds that FUT Esports are able to keep clean. The number of players that did survive in their round victories previously here. keloqz stinks that first kill is going to come through and he wants to capitalize and take the space early, preemptively, as trust in his teammates, but it just doesn't happen.
No, it certainly didn't. So, shake it off. Maybe just a little unfortunate. Maybe not. Let's see what they've got in store with us now. I'm looking at maybe someone getting a little proactive. Lovely paranoia, quelling any early progress and the smoke to follow. And the avenue of approach towards A gets somewhat quickly denied.
That's a here ready with the wall this time around. Different setup once again for FUT Esports, and looking so fluid on the previous map in terms of constantly keeping Heretics guessing. And really punishing Heretics' early round on both sides, attack and defense.
Smokes have been lovely so far, really putting Heretics on the back foot, but burning through a few. And just no opportunities being given here. Denied the full picture of the 2 players there off the back of the knife, but still noting one. A split towards the mid, looking, again, quite handled. 2 players ready on the other side. The fact they can just leave Kiwi like this comfortable is allowing these 4 other players great positions. Yeah, keloqz does get in, but does receive a bit of damage. And Ada, not really scathed. No utility to force him out of position or making him uncomfortable. And yeah, one by one they come. One by one they fall. AtaKaptan just absolutely battering them. This is very mild coming out from Heretics, not really being given much to play with here.
That's just rewarded.
I think
the crowd want it.
The crowd are calling.
He definitely hears that. Gonna go forward for it. Not finding though, AvovA will snatch it away at the last second. MrFaliN to seal the deal though. Comfortable start once again for FUT Esports.
So many
Opportunity here actually to spread the funds a little bit and maybe get themselves a comfortable purchase coming into round 3. Yeah, I think Mixwell just anticipating the reposition from Ata, but it just doesn't come. He wanted it.
These are all just lovely confidence builders, aren't they? A couple of individuals now. qRaxs in round 1. You've had FaliN having a lovely little couple of moments, and AtaKaptan already starting to build up too. Certainly not the same to be said on the other side. Like to see one of them start to heat up, feel that confidence. Let's look across the map now. 3-1-1. Boo dedicated and spotted, I think. AtaKaptan on the other side. All going to be invested. But pressure still building towards that C site. It is going to be MOJJ on the other side. Now really tested. Overwhelmed in the end, and Zeek does get the site under control. Spike still not committed just yet, about to cross through. And there it is. Plant going to come in.
So yeah, I'm hoping Zeek did turn back for the plant there, because the Sage wall just obscuring a little bit of default. Don't want any of those sight lines denied if Heretics do want to sit back and play towards Mound. See actually MrFaliN how far he can get here, because that alarm bot's still up. Boo was actually just about to push towards site, but it will protect his presence.
That's really good.
Nobody else from Heretics turning for it, though. That's important.
Yeah, there's a flash from qRaxs. No one actually going to get punished off the back. Nice timing on the paranoia. Gonna keep them at bay, and this is good so far. Hold on.
That's
Any more
concerning.
damage, I get worried, because these are rifles, remember. This gets costly. That's down to just Zeek. And the round will be Heretics, but the damage again being achieved, Mike, is unbelievable.
And MrFaliN actually gets the upgrade as well, so able to swap that Bulldog out and hold on to it. Again, you look at the funds on the left side of your screen here. Other than Ata, we had to get as close to actually Kiwi onto the operator very early on, round 4 for him.
Incredibly quick to get that. See how that changes the dynamic, though.
I'm saying that's why it's key for nobody else actually to turn once that alarm bot takes contact. Things do look a little worrisome there because Boo has no information on what's on the other side of the alarm bot. There's no real confirmation on backside of C to know exactly who's positioned there.
Ooh, I want to see if he commits to the challenge here, Kiwi. Yeah, he does. Sticks around for it, catches Boo. Big damage early. And they're going to adjust swiftly off the back of that, looking elsewhere. They don't fancy it, but again, when you are playing something like Neon, you can be so mobile.
Reposition here.
Nice.
He finds the opener. Kiwi looking for a blind shot through the smoke. You hear actually the dash coming through here. Is he going to have to get away?
Oh, keloqz, what an adjustment, but being toyed with here. Kiwi trying to find a little bit of time to reset the tempo himself. Falls away, does get to keep his life, but player advantage sitting with Heretics. They now even have the spike down. This is big. Scrappy, sure, but you'll take what you can get. What can these two players do?
With Boo down, actually, AvovA is looking this way. We'll hear the spam come through, actually. AvovA happy to swing onto this. We'll find the first Ata. Next up on the chopping block. Able to escape, though, initially.
Oh,
Repeats
punished him.
it.
He's called AvovA. Okay, where are the others in? No, come on! It's suddenly looking a little bit more viable, but they have the operator. They didn't really fancy going for this too much. Maybe they had incredible success in that opening fight, playing it back in through middle, but...
Secondary objective here, though. They've done damage in a situation where actually they were just banking on saving the operator. I think both players looking to reposition to catch that retreat out of B, and Zeek actually fall into this. I mean, he does have 2K in the bank, but potentially an extra rifle to pass across to a teammate. With a few members of Heretics sat around 3,500.
Yeah.
You'd almost want that coming into this round.
Yeah, nice pivot though. Got to say, Zeek giving them the opportunity there, and somehow I don't know how keloqz got that kill.
How did Kiwi get away from that?
I don't know.
Zeek doesn't know how he died either.
No, he's very confused by this. But I do want to see the money. So we did know, obviously, Zeek did go down, but they have been able to get a full. Oh, guys, come on. Just rebrand it.
We were doing so well.
We were. We were having a great time. All right, well, hopefully that does get resolved quickly. I'm looking to see if I spot the issue.
I was going to say...
Has someone dribbled on their keyboard?
Do we get the bingo card out already?
Oh, is it time?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
We don't know how long it's going to be yet.
True. Does seem as though it was an audio issue, but I still see like headsets on mostly. They're chatting away.
Yeah, this is a short one.
Oh, how dare you say
I
that?
can feel
How bloody dare you say that? I'm
confidence.
I've never been
brimming with
so
confidence.
upset with you.
Should be underway. Couple of seconds now.
All right, I'll leave you to fill this one because it should be easy. But
I've actually got I've got something to do over
oh,
here.
you've got somewhere to be.
Yeah. Oh,
All
listen
right.
to that. I can hear a countdown.
I think we're good. There we
Look
go.
at
It
that.
was for just a mere couple of seconds.
Wasn't
Your
even
confidence
close.
was correctly placed, but a scrap from the beginning again.
Speaking of confidence, Kiwi, adjustment on the side of FUT Esports here, being they're going to post him up deep with the operator. Previously challenging outside C, but Heretics haven't explored this space outside A just yet.
You should run.
Okay, there's that lockdown. Which is a nuisance. Oh God, FaliN.
Yeah, he actually
Scary.
finds it blind there. Unfortunate not to.
Yeah, they do manage to get away from the site. FaliN. He's fine though. There's no threat to life at this point, so the spike can go down. And no attempt at a backline sort of be disrupted here either. It's all very much from CT. Another split from B. Let's see where that starts. Zeek gonna try and slip away, invests the slow. There's a little bit of a look again though, as already football is starting to build. That's FaliN finding Zeek. That's the first step, but keloqz is waiting patiently. No one aware of this yet, and keloqz does strike. qRaxs goes down. This time they're aware of it though. Has to play it so carefully. It's perfect. keloqz with a double. And now looking real good for Heretics. Yes, it's a 3v3, but tough to bring that operator in, and they're shutting it down. Futbolist, time to back away here. They've been handling this so far.
Let's see whether or not AvovA's going to try and chase this down. Punish for it, he will find the kill, but Heretics get their third on the board, and that's crucial to survive. So again, the economy will struggle once again, but a couple more rounds, and going to feel a little more confident about Heretics' approach here on Lotus. Going to be a judge to offset this operator carried across. The first line of ultimates just about coming online for esports. I'm curious when the challenge comes through towards Rubble. Because Heretics have not addressed that side of the map at all. We've seen a couple of different approaches that Heretics won't have a clue about.
Yeah.
I said actually, MrFaliN previously, I think, baiting out almost AvovA, faking the TP early on in the round just to kind of plant the seed of doubt. And MrFaliN's been taking that space behind it. I'm curious, and actually, whether or not this timeout will prompt a different approach here from FUT Esports altogether. I don't think things have spiraled out of control by any stretch.
No. But maybe just trying to get a grip on that C piece that has been coming in.
Yeah, even the previous one, you got to ride that off with the lockdown. It's one of those that's like you have to approach it completely differently unless somebody gives you a kill ahead of that lockdown being invested or ahead of the site being taken control of. Very aggressively on the mic there.
How about to say?
Yeah, chewing on it.
Yeah. Got a lot to say in a very short amount of time, so apparently there is some adjustments to be had for Futbolist.
But yes, addressing this C site here, that previous round isn't necessarily one you take into account
but there
until
were
that
ones,
lockdown's available once again.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see what they come up with if there is a new look here.
Here's the Rubble approach.
Yeah, now the one bonus is, I guess, I say bonus, that's a weird way to say it, but Futbolists only have Sheriff, so they're not going to be in the position to challenge in the same sort of way.
And that could be the actual green light for Heretics to address is Zatsy on a round where they do feel a little more comfortable. Problem being, is that judge still in play? No, it's not. MOJJ did have it in hand. That would have been problematic pushing into an area like tree, but elsewhere, Ata's found Boo.
Okay, but sight shouldn't be an issue. I say with bated breath. Okay, AvovA finds MOJJ. And they have the site under wraps now. Yes, this player's in towards heaven, but again, it should be okay. And keloqz creeping close. It's all right. He's found AtaKaptan. That's good. Does a little bit of a dance around it. Now he's in danger. Oh, keloqz. Lucky to be alive at times, but they do manage to get the job done. As the operator found, keloqz going to get that into the pocket. And Heretics starting to find a bit of form here, but that was only a Sheriff round with a little bit of that threat coming through from that additional weapon. But again, Heretics playing it well. Good call to hit that A site then.
Yeah. Beautiful timing to capitalize on it. And Ross was saying there are concerns for Heretics not addressing this side of the map as well. FUT Esports haven't had to hold on to it just yet. So that's actually going to pull the emphasis in terms of the setup early on here. Looks like MOJJ might still just be tasked with holding on to it solo. MrFaliN looking to rotate. Ata, you can feel him just heating up a little bit now. Comes Mike, catch him on the retreat, yep. keloqz actually shift walking into that slow orb just to pick up a deeper angle to punish on the retreat. Beautiful opener from him. And the operator has to be a sign of things slowing down a little bit for Heretics. They're able to work the pick nice and early.
Found one.
We are starting to see that test of the A site now. Hadn't seen much of it before. The knife did come through from the Futbolist trying to ensure no one was going towards C, but it is going to be this A hit. So MOJJ left on a bit of a platter. Yes, has the full setup in place, but it'll be hard to hold. keloqz, lovely angle. This time going to get found though. keloqz falls. Now the site under scrutiny.
Oh, no.
He's got support this time. Rez is coming back and forth, and we're going to see both sides trying to just get what they can, but it's a player advantage for Heretics. Still a 3-2. Kiwi and qRaxs. Any chances in this?
No command on the retake here, whether or not they do want to invest it. Maybe if they find a kill. Actually, no, ahead of this, so I want to deny any utility for this retake.
But Zeke's still on the side. They don't know about this just yet, and flying on in. Kiwi might now have an inkling of it. Zeek just on the other side to this. He's going to hear all these steps. He does have keloqz there waiting to try and help him for the cross now. Zeek needs to play ahead of it, and he does. Good work, good spacing from AvovA as well to swing off the back of that. Make sure they found the player. And Heretics still holding on to this lead, 5-2 now.
Looking much more comfortable in terms of the fundamentals here for Heretics.
Yes.
The setups look much better in the post plant. Again, that's their ability to find these openers. Definitely a big contrast from map 1.
One enemy remaining.
Stark contrast. It's just the way that we're actually seeing them kind of play as 5. It felt
That's what
map
I
1,
like
it
to
was
see.
just 5 individuals.
Disjointed, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
This is much better. They've broken the back of the money from footballers too, so really adding insult to injury. keloqz starting to, well, he was doing very well with this, but I am seeing Kiwi creeping.
Ooh. Noted now, though. Kiwi's posted up pretty deep. 2 off the ultimate. I mean, if you can find it in this round, maybe if Heretics drift away from him, he can get that orb. He's chomping at the bit.
Yeah, he'd love to get that, wouldn't he?
Heretics almost anticipating some sort of push from FUT Esports here. They will get, he's close
gonna
enough to
hear
hear
this.
these steps.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Kiwi deciding against the orb, just going to try and play behind them. This is perfect.
Does he catch boot?
Oh
He
my
does!
god, that's stunning. That is huge amounts of damage. He's seen everything. They've got 3 players here now.
He can get the orb as well now.
That's the ult.
He's actually got the ult online. That could be a big, big curveball for FUT Esports in this round.
And now for Heretics, so they don't know what part of the map's been taken. They only have the safety that's in front of them. They could be behind the wire, and they're looking to fight their way back through. Zeek going to cut off that avenue of approach from the A site, maybe considering the stack, and rightly so. Zeek, great positioning, beautiful. And maybe a double pump now. Actually going to go right back to it, but they didn't fall away from the site so far that there wouldn't be a fight towards it. keloqz up for the battle, though. Walks away with both. And now just that judge in one, but the ult is there. Kiwi, oh,
What is this?
Zeek is so unaware. And now the lockdown's coming as well. The upgrade's found. MOJJ, what can you do? The plant's not even down 10 seconds. MOJJ, what is the plan? The TP, he's out of there. Over to the C site. Plant's gonna come in, and it's a mile away.
MOJJ has got to get back on this, but does he read the
He's heard it,
reposition? He's
he's
heard
heard
the
it.
step from Mixwell.
Oh,
He's got the
it's a
kill.
1v1. AvovA's 21 HP, but it's AvovA. Roll back the years. Give me the vintage AvovA in this. MOJJ, though, stepping closer now. AvovA, this is terrifying. Staring
Can't
each
use
other
that
down,
yet.
and they have no idea
got
how
the turret.
close they are. The turret comes in, and AvovA slips away. Smartly done. The angle now. AvovA needs to be so careful of this. MOJJ has forged his way towards the site, but now that final step, that final blow. Tap on the spike, waiting. Does AvovA check? He's so close to this. The swing! Rolls it back. AvovA clutching out for Heretics. Desperately needed. Kindling some of that fire they once had.
A beautiful round from both sides as well. The TP
Lovely.
from AvovA just in the nick of time to get away from the lockdown. But MOJJ definitely made it interesting. Frustration starting to show on the faces of FUT Esports. Kiwi a big win condition on this map with that previous performance in mind. Just not here on the defense. FUT Esports need to move mountains to make this realistic here.
Oh, ratty.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh my, Kiwi
he
nearly
got it.
adjusted for it.
Yeah, Kiwi was
What?
a second away, but gorgeous work. Had that up the sleeve for a little while. That was the round they wanted it. And it actually takes away a lot from Kiwi here.
Don't have the res. Ata's making his way over towards C. And Heretics did peel away from this, so you don't want to see anybody else from FUT Esports fall here. MOJJ has to play his life.
He can't go down here. Needs to play, gives up the site for it. Kind of has to. Smoker to go in, res comes out. They now know rotations are in, but keloqz wants it. Actually decides against it. Tempering that aggression that he's known for. But the spike now down, it's on their side. MOJJ trying to catch one on the way out. Zeek stays alive. Willing to defend now.
Going to split through from doors, though. Could be problematic. Mixwell found one onto MOJJ, though. A little bit of spam through the smoke.
Yeah, but this is going to be manic. They're on the side. Mixwell, lovely with keloqz. Falling can't do it. Heretics looking so good here. Kiwi dead again. Second time in the round. And it's flawless for Heretics. What a night and day look from map 1.
Definitely got the wind in their sails now. FUT Esports back down on a broken purchase if they do want to throw anything into this. Looks like it might just be Sheriffs. Those ultimates now lacking. Beautiful cleanup towards the end of this as well. This is the individual starting to show some of that potential we alluded to. Zeek having a much better game this time around. Even so, the numbers aren't vastly different, but consistency definitely there. Another round with these Sheriffs on the side of FUT Esports. That's when Heretics feel confident about taking rubble, challenging this A-site hold.
They've got a really good grip on the game as it stands. The economy management, they're understanding incredibly well. Mixwell going to get ult online. It's 3 to play with when they need it. Boo quite far off, having a very quiet game, but everyone else very much there. AvovA, we noted when he used his to perfection before, so that's still being built back up. Again, got to be careful here. If you're Heretics, you don't want to walk into any of these stacks, which we very much know is present. Now, with the Seekers going to come through, they get dealt with very early on, but it should be indicative of a fair amount of presence, and yes, a quick pivot off the back of that.
MOJJ almost forced out of even having a say towards B site once again. It's a number of times Heretics have been able to kind of catch some kind of advantage in the rotation here. The wall invested very deep, and that's problematic for FUT Esports. Nobody else can really challenge until this is dealt with. Kiwi's found an opener, though.
All right, but there's still 4 players with rifles sat watching these ways in. These choke points could be fatal, and they are. 3 quick kills back-to-back, and Heretics are from that doing okay. That's now just 2. AvovA is low by the time, and the utility, 15 HP. This one should be done, and it is. Boo farming up there a little, and Heretics finally getting into this game, really. We're starting to see them striding. Yes, still a little dangerous in those Shikos coming out against them, but they weather the storm. This is now so many rounds back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, last time FUT Esports won one, it was the pistol and then round 2 conversion. Got to see them get something in the last 2 rounds of the half here. Want to make any sort of attempt in the second, when we know how it went with that deficit in the first. Very little margin for error. And Ultimate still lacking. MrFaliN does have his. Heretics once again will probe towards C. And it's like Kiwi unnoted. He's good for 2.
Still crisp, but does get handled in the end. And success on the other side of the map. First time we're really seeing this. Boo's back on the feet. And back up to 3.
It's just almost the timing of that challenge from AvovA, though. It's problematic for Heretics to really secure that res and maintain even numbers. This wall once again. Zeek going to try and punish on the top of it. Flash is good, but now has to back away. No heal, down to 54 HP.
Really precarious here. Lockdown going to come in.
Very deep investment of the lockdown.
FaliN. Oh, man. Boo. Good heads-up approach. Now a 3v3, making this far more comfortable. MOJJ on the way in, gets a little bit of a lift up, but the spray converts well enough. And now just the 1v1. Boo up against qRaxs. qRaxs position noted, and Boo trying to be patient, but his timing's being tested. Great work from qRaxs there. Timing's good. That's going to be 3. And Heretics not going to run away with this just yet. And a little bit of a lifeline for FUT.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the only thing really that makes this doable for FUT Esports is the plant position. With the lockdown going in, I think they're still so paranoid of somebody looking for a cheeky kill ahead of that, fully detaining anybody. And the plant going deeper means they can't play mound. It's a little more concerned, especially with this flank kill being picked up. I think MrFaliN TPing behind mound here, but see Heretics have to commit to these close quarters engagements. Unfortunately, Boo's in a position where the plant's not good for him. He has to spam or make himself known by charging up the ramp.
That was off the back of Kiwi, though, finding 2 openers like that. And yeah, right back to business for keloqz. Doesn't want to give him any quarter. Does fall away, though. Let's see if we can pull that rotation. Look to the other side of the map. They are getting proactive. So if Heretics do slow down the pace, it could be an issue, but we have the turret there, so that should find contact pretty quickly. Be incredibly indicative of what's coming their way.
Yeah, 3 rifles remain. Kiwi obviously having that ultimate online. It's just a Sheriff to work with. MrFaliN, is he going to get aggressive? He's good for the first hit.
Oh,
can he get back out, though?
Oh, he's got another!
That's the spike!
He's got a spike on his side! That's ridiculous! And yeah, the unorthodox position from Zeek, but the shot's gorgeous from FaliN. He doesn't need the help, apparently, but he's going to get it. AvovA cuts off the support system. Kiwi's gone down, but there's a second player to this as well. It wasn't just Kiwi on his own. qRaxs was there too. Spike still not in hand. And FaliN going for a second go at this. Another attempt, and again the success One more and it's all his. FalLin wants it.
30 seconds left.
Zeek being hunted, spots one, doesn't get it. MOJJ is there. It's a lifeline for FUT. Competitive at 4-8, but Heretics, what a reminder of what this team can do.
Absolutely. Very different approach here and definitely finding success across the board. keloqz looking like he's online here, delivering for Heretics. But overall, the approach is totally different from what we saw on Pearl.
Night and day.
Yeah, much faster to try and find these engagements. And like I said, keloqz, yes, being rewarded for it, but able to capitalize time and time again.
It's so refreshing seeing Heretics actually fight as 5. Seeing them with a little bit of synergy there, not too far ahead of each other, really playing well. Kind of some of those B hits felt so chaotic, but they had really good composure in them. The post plants were good. Love that little wall that was set up as well for keloqz. I love seeing these sort of things. This is what we've been wanting to see from this side.
And those are the things where really we step into the unknown in terms of not seeing Lotus just yet for Heretics. A couple of these little tricks make it evident they've made use of the downtime.
Oh yeah. Love to see that. And look, I was worried after seeing the start of it. I was worried we were back for another map 1, but absolutely not the case. Really, really rewarding. Zeek having a much better series as well. Map here, at least, should I say. Coming through. A little bit of a glimpse of the old AvovA as well. Everyone kind of putting on a bit of a show, Mike.
Glimpse of the old Mixwell as well.
Yeah.
Some of these rounds definitely look better as a team unit. Looking forwards, though, really puts the pressure back on FUT Esports, because this is the one you look at the veto and you think, yeah, actually, I'm feeling pretty comfortable about FUT Esports coming into this with what we saw at lock-in.
Yeah.
At least in this half here, needs Kiwi to really double down and embrace this Neon pick and make it work on the attack. Same question then goes for Heretics. Is this cohesive unit carry across to the second half here, where unfortunately on the defense, you can't stack up, you can't play these strength in numbers sort of approaches to the rounds.
Gosh, and head-to-head, we were kind of discussing this at the very start of the day, or at least the desk was as well, was that kind of keloqz facing up against Kiwi, that kind of head-to-head battle that we could see coming down. Finally seeing keloqz kind of take, I'd say, the upper hand, at least in that half here.
Definitely.
Looking much better off.
But in the second half here, the key stakeholders have become AvovA and Boo in that regard. They're the ones that ultimately, in terms of site anchoring and shutting down some of these fast hits, if Heretics aren't actually positioned to greet them, you know, 3v3, 4v4, like I said, it's very different to achieve what they've just done on the attack on the defense here.
Potentially, yeah, I'm really interested, because Boo didn't have a great first half either. So a little quiet in that regard. Wonder if that becomes something that maybe they're looking towards to exploit, if it's part of their plan, if they've got something in mind for that, or simply they stick to their actual game plan that they've come into this matchup with. Again, plenty left to be still seeing about Lotus, because it's, again, we haven't seen so much of this map played out yet, even when we rolled our minds towards what we saw from FUT prior to this in Brazil. So this is very much still adding to that consideration of how good this map actually sits with them going forward. It's a long series, Mike.
Well, the interesting thing being as well, FUT Esports had a massive emphasis around that rubble control on their attack.
Yeah.
And their ability to really mix things up and catch 100 Thieves in particular off guard with how quickly they convert that rubble control towards actually hitting site. Because usually teams kind of stall that out a little bit. They want to get control of the broken wall to be able to open up the possibilities of splitting B. I think at least initially here, look how quickly Kiwi's over towards the entrance of B.
And there's no body behind that utility. It is just the util in place as it stands. So if he does
Ata's
continue...
got to be careful here.
Ata's in a hole.
What?
Come off it. How did he turn that on Zeek? With a classic as well. Yeah, AvovA eventually got him, but that should have been a clean fight. Now, actually, Kiwi's found. Now, that's huge. He was in a very unorthodox spot. Now, it does seem as though FUT have worked out that C-side. That is under their control. Spike is on way, but they are surrounded on most fronts here, and they don't have much comfort with this man advantage for Heretics. Shots from keloqz. And now down to 2.
He's at least got the upgrade here. Won't matter too much. AvovA on the flank will come through. qRaxs will shut that down now, but he's a 1v3 situation. Boo tagged up. The plant is good for him here. Finds the first, finds the second as well. What is that? Oh my word! I said it was doable. But Heretics just throw everything at removing him from that mound position. What was that, Lauren?
That is monstrous. Ah, come on. Lines him up, knocks him down. No sweat off the brow. That guy is unreal. Now, but prior to that ridiculous individual impact, that was going to be a Heretics round.
Yeah.
This could close the scoreline up. Don't forget the amount of impact that could have now.
I think this was off the rip what we saw from Heretics in the previous as well. They wanted to be proactive. There was immediate walks through to pressure the flank, the extremities of FUT Esports. Rewarded for it here. Even the spike noted, Ata somehow gets a kill in that scenario. I still don't understand how he managed that.
I'm waiting for the next ridiculous thing to happen, right? It's just...
Slow approach here, no progress
Yeah.
made from the side of Heretics. Just trying to anchor keloqz with his Marshall in hand, to be honest. FUT
FaliN's heard this, though.
Yeah. Well, at least here the... Well, actually spotted qRaxs on the repeat. Feeling himself after that pistol round.
Yeah, that could have been so much danger to that just because keloqz, right? Snappy. Is there anything? Nah, no sweat again for qRaxs. This guy's good. Getting comfortable now. Ball's going to come in. And beyond that Marshall that was out, we actually only have that Sheriff with Boo, and that's about it. So, unless some real errors happen for FUT.
Very late investment at the wall as well, so they know, FUT Esports know they're going to be pushed
I'm out of here.
heavily towards spawn side.
There it is. First one found. And the readjusting for Kiwi is very nice. Comfortable. Lovely. Yeah, AvovA, anything for that? Kiwi's hunting you down. Kiwi, that's a little bold. A little brave on that one to be diving on in, but hey, get that confidence flowing. It was going to be a round converted nonetheless. And the gap on that scoreline gets a little bit closer, up to 6 now for FUT.
And the fact that it's flawless actually gives them a very good opportunity to neutralize this scoreline very early on in this half. Actually, what the approach is here for Heretics, I think that will be indicative of how we see them approach this half in general. 4 light shields here, obviously a little bit of investment in the previous, prioritizing some of the utility coming into this. Caught with that flash actually heavily, and yeah, Boo tagged off, so he can't even complement this peak here. Yes, Kiwi gets tagged up, heals available for him potentially. Oh, if Ata's actually healed somebody else up already.
Like it,
yeah, it's on cooldown right now. Yeah, it must have been MOJJ actually. Yeah, he's the only one missing his shield.
They still held presence on the other side of the map, so even if keloqz does... Oh no,
The
that's
Spectre
nasty.
wins that?
How?
I think keloqz has taken a very early headshot in that engagement.
Yeah. Oh man, they're getting desperate to try and equalize something, get a little bit of a favorable trade, but playing as 5, FUT are just going to pour on in. Boo's deleted. Winning every engagement here.
Back-to-back flawless.
Yep.
Potentially here, MrFaliN is going to be the only one to fall, and nope, he's going to find it. It is back-to-back flawless, Lauren.
Lord.
A fantastic start for FUT Esports here in the second half, and
Good, look at that money, Mike.
yeah, like I said, the fact that Asi was flawless coming across from that round 2 conversion, it's flawless in the bonus as well.
Oh, they're sitting at 6K, 5K behind this buy. Oh man, that is.
I mean, the worst
filthy.
thing as well, they're touching max buy here as well. If they actually come out here, and this is as close to flawless as well. It's going to be Sheriffs on the board here for Heretics.
They've got to stop.
They
the
have
rot.
to do some damage. They've
got to. And no one's really had that ability to start off here. It's just been mad shot after mad shot. All favorable to FUT. Off the back of that pistol, remind yourself how he got almost now back to 8 apiece, which could be pretty much happening after this round. That pistol was everything. These Sheriffs better sing. Patience being displayed. keloqz does cop the first bit of damage though, back to 41 now. Slips away. And a lot of presence shown now. We are seeing this is the lighter of the split, 3-2 here, but really showing a lot behind it.
Zeek's. It's a tall order to try and do some damage or to stop this push coming through. Boo preemptively going to rotate. Feels like it's a bit of a bait and switch here, but it's pulling keloqz as well. There's going to be 3 members of Heretics rotating towards C site here. And two position for FUT Esports very deep. AvovA's going to come back here, but it's only them. It's going to be a 5v2 here for FUT Esports.
Yeah, barely make it back. And the pop flash isn't bad, but Mixwell just gets eliminated so quickly. AvovA, yeah, nothing Footballist almost with that double pump, right? It looked so clear as a fake after a couple of seconds where there's no further commitment towards the site from that initial pressure coming through. And then that C being shown, you saw that little bit of a call from Zeek, but man, now making it their own on towards this A site. Yes, blood now drawn, Kiwi gone, but they still need to get past so many more bodies. Boo, doing what he can. Making it a 2v3. keloqz on the site now, 65 HP. MOJJ still alive, still kicking. And the scoreline is tied up 8 apiece.
In the blink of an eye, FUT Esports right back into this, and actually in the driving seat as well. Yes, the score is tied up, but the economy definitely not tied up in that regard. You've got to argue as well, FUT Esports going to have a massive advantage if you look at this first ult cycle, even coming into the 5th round of this second half. Because it's been clean.
Yeah.
Heretics have been lacking that progress towards some of these ultimates. They haven't got any swing factors to throw at this. We'll see how the lay of land is, but Heretics going to call a timeout just to gather their thoughts ahead of this, because this is a key buy round. Well, in terms of comebacks, this one almost becomes a very big pivot round in the second half. FUT Esports can snowball with this much of an advantage in this first ult cycle.
You're absolutely right. I do want to see how many of those ults are ready to go. They've probably got a fair few. I want to see who's got them and what to do with it, because you notice it even in that first half, that lockdown that came in, for example, that was just almost a guarantee that
you throw that round away. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm curious to see what they have to play with here and what the plan is coming back in from Heretics. They haven't really had much of a say in this thus far. Very much dictated too by the pace coming out from FUT. Everything going right on their side. A little peek once we start things back up of where those ults actually lay. Who's got them to play with here? Okay, so we have 2 for FUT in play right now. Rez is there, and the lockdown for qRaxs. So, excuse me, the ult for qRaxs. So I'm kind of waiting to see if that's what they depend upon, but maybe not an all, be all and end all ult, but curious. Oh, the aggression. Kiwi, come on. You're not in fight Mixwell. You were so blind during that.
That's 4 members of Heretics fighting tooth and nail for rubble control early on here. And B sides left wide open. And immediately the audible is called here for FUT Esports. They're going to capitalize.
Yeah, Zeek can't challenge this. Zeek
Well, he
can't
does.
challenge this. He tried to, but it just wasn't made for him. MOJJ is going to delete him, and now they're down to 3, and it's in the blink of the eye. This round is so quick.
Oh my word.
Oh my word. Footballists are so powerful in how they're approaching this. Just unstoppable in the force. As soon as they saw all of that attention towards A, the pivot was instantaneous towards B.
Boo will find a consolation. qRaxs, though, I was going to say, maybe going to neutralize that, but MOJJ finally shuts him down. Concern being, yes, 3 standing, but it didn't require any ultimate. So all in all, this is a very clean round for FUT Esports in terms of the bigger picture. Now we have a couple more ultimates to play with.
And Kiwi's one away.
Kiwi's one away. That's another factor to offset this economy. The flash is beautiful. Kiwi actually catches ahead of Mixwell popping his flash. The pace shift here in this round is fantastic from FUT Esports. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Smiles all around.
Oh, you love to see that. That was actually a really nice round, just off the back of seeing so much. And it shattered the money of Heretics. Oh, God, it's starting to get really bad here for them. They need more than a silver lining, but they need something.
There's no Blade Storm yet. I mean, keloqz going to try and take it.
There we go, okay.
FALIN nearly catching him inside the smoke there, but this is that sort of round once again. You almost have to write this one off if you're Heretics, unless FUT Esports give away a kill or 2 here.
And they're going just at the right time now. Going to take over the site, and there's going to be no challenge on this. They should get a free plant for it. See them trying to get ahead.
A very
Kiwi
deep investment
chomping
at
at
the
the bit, yeah.
Look at this control.
Oh, it's nasty. Going to funnel them through CT, basically. What's the plan for that? Kiwi can just chill here. And even the dog gets dealt with. AtaKaptan, yes, they should still check the wall just in case. But what are you meant to do? Okay, Paranoid's good, but the Blade Storm's gone. Boo. Still going to make that Sheriff work. But again, the trades, the positioning, it's good. Boo again! Takes down Kiwi. Going to pop the ult on the other side. qRaxs going to do what he can to try and deal with this, but the lockdown's there. They need the diffuser. They need to get this one started. A tap on it, but the smoke keeps them
Smoke's
guessing.
going to expire, though.
There's not going to be anything to keep them safe here. And again, no commitment to this. And the face comes out, Footballers. But just running through this game now. It was an expensive as hell round, but it's got them up to 10.
And look at the difference as well. I know on the lockdown round from Heretics, they invested that wall a little deeper towards site instead of getting themselves up onto default. But FUT Esports takes so much control away.
Yeah.
Mixwell's in a position, I think, yeah, you said it's going to funnel them into CT, but Mixwell has to make something happen in a 1v2 with a Sheriff pushing through that wall. Such a beautifully crafted round from FUT Esports there. Even here, yeah, Kiwi in a position to get that operator online, but does have the ultimate. Concerns continue. If you're a Heretics fan, Zeek is available now. AvovA with that TP, but it's so late on in this half that they're just about touching that first ult cycle. Lockdown invested, obviously, previously. But almost desperation to try and get that retake into a successful position. keloqz got to be careful here because this A site hold is so deep that he doesn't really have any sort of support from his teammates.
He should be on red alert after that.
Here we go.
He's going to hear that pop for sure. So they know what's coming their way. Pace is the name of the game for Kiwi. He's got to get there. Zeek still standing. The stun slowing Kiwi down himself, making it very difficult. The 5v4 and advantage finally sitting with Heretics.
MrFaliN's got ahead of the wall here.
Oh, this could be ratty as hell. But do they even do they think about it? Do they consider it?
AvovA's going to hard clear this.
30
Really
seconds
should.
left.
Plant's going to come in, AvovA, keep you cool. Oh, the ping. Disastrous at the same time as well, but still, AvovA does find FaliN, and now 2 men to the good for Heretics. Yes, they have the plant. They're going to need one player to do something mythical like that. MOJJ with 2. qRaxs going to follow up with a third and brings it back to level pegging. 2 players apiece. And the time on their side, AtaKaptan takes out Zeek, and it's just Boo left in the 1v2. Plays through towards CT, but the timing's not on his side. Desperate for someone, anyone to swing him. And it's going to be 11 FUT. Started to tear away with the game. Heretics held on 8.
Another beautiful example of the discipline on display here from FUT Esports. In so many of these situations, you almost think, yeah, going to try and bait qRaxs in there, but he still commits to swing and trade that. Beautiful stuff here. I mean, MOJJ lines up 2 here, but like I said, qRaxs, you're almost expecting him to tuck in and just say, yeah, okay, expect the third to drift in. Heretics unable to even make a blemish on the second half. Still held at 8 rounds. A broken purchase here. 2 Bulldog Sheriffs. And this brawl outside Rubble. The intention for Heretics
That
once
knife has
again.
to show so much. At bare minimum, 3 players, they know how vulnerable Boo is. It's messy, but he stays alive. 5 HP, all it is, but it's enough.
Bomb grenade out.
Has to back away here, needs help.
You will not kill my allies.
Ooh, MOJJ a little ahead of the curve. We'll give away a rifle as well. So almost makes it doable here for Heretics to fight their way back through.
Choke points have been the death, though, of Heretics in the past. This time, still trying to fight the good fight for themselves, but 3 players against 3, and the rifle's overwhelming now. Favorable towards FUT. Kiwi still on the side, too, waiting for Boo to try and crest that CT side. Slow goes in, but he looks back towards middle. Big shot from Boo. Digging their heels in, making a go of this one, forcing AtaKaptan's hand. Spam comes in, and it's not connecting. Good shot, though. Finds another. Defuse was denied! And it's 12 for FUT.
Some of these attacking rounds are so beautiful to watch. Again, FUT Esports' resilience in taking such deep control. They force Boo off, but look at this. They're so happy to fight. Heretics ahead of even getting contact on site. The investment of smoke comes all the way deep there.
Yeah.
I mean, AvovA actually has to TP out of it to even set up a double swing. This is absolutely textbook from FUT Esports. And
Really?
Heretics, after a few positives from that, absolutely none here in the second half.
It might be pacey, Mike. Get yourself ready for this one, FUT.
Boo again on an island.
I guess AvovA there with him this time, but the response is on the way. Lockdown's coming in. Make your mind up. Where do you go? AvovA is waiting for it. Paranoia to hand. Sends it. Buying precious seconds. Kiwi finds Boo. AvovA with the trade. And now we look at what's remaining and where they are. The lockdown is in effect, so they have to get out of the site. AvovA does get away. No harm, no foul. Wall can't go as deep this time. They don't have that timing on it here. They need that plant to have happened.
Yeah, it becomes a little worrying here if they can't commit to this plant just yet. Zeke's going to find MrFaliN.
Okay,
Second comes through with third as well.
Still alive is MOJJ. 1v4, a little bit of chip damage, but not much to write home about. Spikey's going to leave. Goes walking. That's one, needs another. It's not clean anymore. 30 HP, the double swing. 2 players, right place, right time in the first round in a while for Heretics.
He's now in a position where they have to cling to life. The opportunity to get a couple of these ultimates online, 2 off the lockdown, 1 off the Blade Storm. Do have that res available. Like I said, it just becomes so worrying if you can't get that plant whilst the lockdown is still in effect. I think that's actually on the back of Ata being the one to have to invest that wall still. He's still the one with the spike. I think you even noted it. Yeah, he had to make that split-second decision not to invest the wall as deep as previously planned.
Looks brawly. See if they commit off the back. How far do they go? Yeah, keloqz actually deciding.
Who's noted
Now's not
there?
the time.
Noted actually the jump past the smoke. Paranoia invested will force him off that position. But actually trading off the keloqz dash there, so he can't play as aggressive as you'd usually expect him to with that online. Looks like this beast split's going to come through once again. AvovA needs to help Zeek out here with
Zeke's
this
in
hold.
danger. He's in so much danger. He's done well against MOJJ there, but timing is just not on his side. He knows that pressure is eventually going to hit towards him. Has got some help from AvovA, but utility going to start coming to play now. Does he get to keep his life? He wants MOJJ dead. He gets him dead. Follow-up not found. Wants one trade up with the plant on their side. Good work from AvovA. Holds a position, but 3 players still alive. Still plenty more to do.
Flank from Boo is everything. Ata's looking this way already. A little bit of time to find it. He will find the kill. Boo's down. It's a 3v3 now.
And the
Make that
rest-
3v4.
The spam, okay, but they're all coming from the same place here. FaliN's going to see so many players. Oh, he's going to spot one. Does chip damage, but doesn't get the player down. Mixwell, dazed and confused. AvovA, Kiwi, defuse is starting and it's ending. 13-9. FUT closing out the matchup before it got any more dicey.
And a 1